What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And you know what's some nonsense? It's nonsense when companies like Gillette doesn't stay in their lane. They sell razors. But instead, for some reason, they decide we're going to become social justice warriors and we're going to step out and we're going to put men in their place, even though they make up the majority of all of our customers. We're going to offend them. If they were politicians, they would be the dumbest politicians ever. They would offend the very people who would be voting for them. And so they take the time to carve out a 1 minute and some change commercial focusing on all the things that they feel are wrong with our society, but not just our society, men. Yeah, they're focusing solely on men and all of the messed up stuff about men. Now, the sad part about this commercial is they paint it as if this is a major national epidemic, just like the all liberal. When they come up with an issue, it's always huge scaled. It's like, this is everywhere. We got to do something right now because it's overflowing and it's running rampant in the streets. Now, the things that they showed in the commercial, if you haven't seen it, I haven't seen any of these things done in years. And if they are, they're far few in between. Okay, so you cherry pick a couple situations that done took place, and all of a sudden you make a commercial as if this is the norm. Now, if I'm a shareholder in Gillette, I'm mad because I'm saying, did you think this was going to fly? Did you think it was going to go over well with men when it appears that you are attacking what makes their beards grow? Okay, masculinity, testosterone. If we didn't have it, we wouldn't have beards. You wouldn't be in business, huh? Yeah. So for you to come out with a stupid commercial highlighting all of the things that you feel men need to be aware of and socially conscious and make some changes, it's offensive. It is stereotyping men. It is assuming that the average man functions, thinks, or operates like some of the things they showed in the video. They start off throwing out some keywords: bullying, toxic masculinity, whatever that is, sexual harassment. And see, what bothers me about the whole toxic masculinity statement is because there's no definition of it. It's just straight up whatever you don't like about a man, you'll contribute it to this mystical term, toxic masculinity. Maybe if a man stands up and answers a question, all of a sudden, he's just demonstrating toxic masculinity. He's just asserting his masculinity in front of everybody. Nobody else can speak. If a man says, "Excuse me, ma'am, let me get that door for you." That's toxic masculinity. I can open my own door. It is going too far, and companies need to stick with what they do. So if you sell razors, sell razors. Nobody wants a sermon, a lecture, a counseling session, an intervention from Gillette. It's unbelievable. So they show this one man pawing at a woman. It looked to be like one of those old, like 1960 black and white scenes where the wife would come home. "Hi, honey, I brought something for dinner and I'm going to cook." And he goes like this at her. And I'm thinking, did y'all give any context to that? Was she a stranger? Looked like it was his wife. Maybe it's okay if her husband wants to chase his wife around the room a little bit. I mean, I know a lot of husbands, their wives walk past and they don't even look at them. So this guy was showing some interest, but they don't put the context in that. They just want you to believe that right now in today's society, women are walking past strangers and all you hear is all of that stuff. It's crazy. And see, here's what makes me mad about that. They go on to highlight some other things in society that they feel is a problem, okay? When it comes down to, I guess, men's behavior and, perpetrating some of these behaviors. Like, for example, little boys. Little boys started off, I saw these two little boys wrestling in the commercial. They were rough playing. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, rough playing is a part of a male's behavior. Children wrestle, rough play a little bit, spar, things like that. And it's no different than when lion cubs wrestle and play fight, puppies do it. You know why they do it? Because they're preparing So if there's ever a time they have to defend themselves or their pride or their cubs or their puppies, they'll be able to do it. But if you take all of that out, then when the crap hits the fan and the grid goes down, we're stuck with snowflakes. We're stuck with a whole bunch of guys who don't know how to defend not only themselves, but nobody else in the country. I mean, do you think our Navy SEALs suffer from too much toxic masculinity? What about our military? Police? I mean, it just kills me when you obviously can see there is an element in our country that is attacking men. Not just men, but they're specifically attacking white men first to just silence them because they don't want their opinions. They want to focus on identity politics. So let's go ahead and put most of those blames on white men. So this way, as soon as they open their mouth or as soon as they start voting, we can say, you're doing that because you're a white male and it's white privilege and you're suffering from toxic masculinity. So you guys need to shut up. But they, in the commercial, sprinkled in a couple black guys. So now you see the two little boys fighting or wrestling. And all the guys are at the picnic. Whole bunch of them just lined up. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. And I'm thinking to myself, boys will be boys. Okay? But then it goes back to it. And it looked like it turned from play wrestling to one little kid had that concerned look on his face on the ground like he was getting beat up, like he didn't want to play no more. And they're belittling the intelligence of men. I know that if I'm watching two little boys rough play together and it's an agreed rough play, I'm thinking, okay, let the boys have fun, But if it turns to the point where one kid looks like I'm scared or this guy's going too far, I know when to step in and break that up. Same thing in the commercial. First time they were playing, I looked at it like, what's the problem? Yeah, boys will be boys. Then it cuts back to it, and the one kid's on the ground like it got out of hand, and then the one guy go over, hey, that's not how we behave. And I'm thinking, that would be a normal response if men saw two little boys playing and it turned serious. Yes, you go over and you stop that. But to say that little boys can't express a little bit of masculinity by sparring and wrestling and things is ridiculous. Okay, do we say that about girls? You can't play house. You can't act like you're making tea with each other. You can't act like you're cooking and stuff. No, that's toxic femininity. We don't want you to perpetrate a stereotype and so on and so forth. And then they go on to show a boss in a meeting, I guess, apparently, and he has a woman who makes a statement. Now, here's the crazy part about this. They never say what the woman said. It could have been the dumbest thing in the world. And it might have not had anything to do with her just being a female. But of course, he puts his hand on her shoulder like, I think what she meant to say. As if a woman's opinion doesn't count and I'm going to talk for her because she's not allowed to say anything and so on and so forth. No context, no nothing. Just show it. Okay, so I guess this is going on every day in board meetings. I mean, do they realize we're in the most hypersensitive time ever? I don't think there's a lot of bosses around degrading women in the workforce because with this whole Me Too movement, men are complete targets right now. And if they keep this crap up, they're not even going to want to hire women. Showing commercials like that, you're like, man, I'm not even going to tempt myself, put myself in that position. And then, of course, they showed a clip at the party, the pool party, and I guess this girl looked like her face hurt. She's in there mad or just indifferent. All the guy says is, hey, smile, sweetheart. And the other guy, hey, man, hey. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, no context. I guess we're supposed to just assume that you can't say this to a woman and without her being offended. Did they know each other? I mean, I'm just wondering. Did she look like she was mad the whole time and he just came over and cheered her up? I know I've gone out and I've had a stoic look on my face and women came past like, smile, sweetie. And I didn't go, you're offending me. You know what you're doing? You're a misogynist. You're a sexist. You're assuming. No, they are making our society so hypersensitive. It's ridiculous to where men and women aren't even going to interact after a while. That's the way that they portrayed the whole commercial, as if men and women can't even have casual interaction or playful interaction and so on and so forth. For example, girl walks by, two guys standing there at the door of a store or something. She walked by, a very attractive lady. The one guy looks and like, oh, snap. He goes to walk to talk to her or whatever. And the other guy, uncool, man. Uncool for what? What did he do? Did he say, look at that big old butt? Did he say, man, I hit that? Did he call her a B? Did he call her a hoe? Did he say anything like that? All the guy did is look, found her attractive, and started to go and approach her. All right. Now, here's the crazy part about that. That is how every guy meets a girl. I don't understand. You see a girl that's attractive, and if you got some type of guts, some type of confidence, you go up and you say hello, because guess what? As she walked past, he will never see her again. You got one shot. One shot. Don't waste it. So if you got one shot at a girl that you think's hot, you're going to go, excuse me, ma'am, can I talk to you? It would be one thing if they would have showed him go up, grab her on her shoulder, spin her around, say, look, woman, like Mr. T. Look here, woman. You know, why don't you come around my house a little bit later? I'll show you how a real man's supposed to be. If they'd have hit her with the clubber lang, then of course. But no context. They made it appear that simply finding a woman attractive and going to talk to her is wrong. Now, ladies, let's be honest. Comes down to the approach when it comes down to men saying something to you, because you spend your time getting dressed, putting on your makeup, your perfume. You want to at least be recognized. You want somebody to be able to say, that's a very nice looking lady, you know, and so on and so forth. Now, if he's rude, that's one thing. But for a man that is cordial, you can reject his approach if he's respectful. So that doesn't mean it doesn't flatter you that he can recognize your beauty. So just by a man coming up and saying, excuse me, ma'am, can I talk to you? You're very attractive, and so on and so forth. And you go, thank you so much, but I'm not interested. And you keep it moving. Versus a guy grab you by the wrist like a caveman. And that's what they're making it appear like. Just the fact that you found a woman attractive and want to approach her is wrong. And I'm thinking, who put this idea in Gillette's head? Did they think that this was going to fly over when it comes down to men? It was so stereotypical that I wanted to jump through the screen and just choke them out. Choke all of the, just go around on a crusade to gather all the Gillette razors and throw them in the river. That's how I felt about it. It was absolutely horrible. And there was no conclusion. There was no result. They just saying, we just want to bring this awareness to men's minds, as if the things that they were showing in the commercial, the average man has no idea these things are wrong. We're just walking around like, what? You mean to tell me belittling a woman's intelligence is wrong? You mean to tell me she ain't supposed to be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant? What? You mean to tell me I can't just grab her by her hair, drag her into a cave and say, you're my wife now? That is crazy. You mean to tell me that little boys fighting and one getting scared is wrong? You mean I was going to let them just fight? I was going to let the one kid just beat the other kid up. I mean, they belittle the intelligence of almost every man on the planet. Even guys who do these type of things, they know it's wrong. They just do it. But the average guy doesn't walk around doing the things that they showed in the commercial. So why would you blanketly make a commercial like that just almost paints every man as a misogynist? They had a couple heroes in there to show what not to do and to show that you're brave enough to stand up to this type of behavior. Hey, dude, you know what? I know she's attractive and you probably will never see her again, but it's uncool to just go up and introduce yourself. Uncool, man. And I'm going, if I had a friend like that, I would give him the shortest, quickest elbow, like right up under the chin, so hard that if you were standing behind him, you would see the whites of his eyes. His whole head would shoot back like that. And you'll go, did I just see his eyeballs? And he's turned away from me. I saw his eyeballs. I know I did. Right? Just a quick one. Just like that. So it's disgusting when these companies who are supposed to be appealing to the market that supports them, their shareholders, stockholders, and all that stuff, and then they just straight throw them up under the bus. And they belittle their intelligence, they belittle their behavior, and they paint this as a full epidemic that is running rampant in our society. And so, for that, Gillette now is about to go on my crap list. I like Gillette when it comes down to lining my beard up, but I'm going to have to look for another supplier now. See what y'all did, Gillette. Huh? Now, is this masculinity just because I don't like your commercial? Am I too aggressive? That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that's the video. Check the commercial out. Tell me if I'm off base. I don't know. Maybe I am. But check the commercial out. It's garbage. It got so many thumbs downs. It's ridiculous. So check it out. Find me tonight. We're going to be talking about this in Kevin's Corner live radio blog talk show. And I'm also going to be going live on YouTube at 7:30. Also, don't forget to hit like, share, notification, and subscribe. That's it. If you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, there's a link in the bottom. And check out Extreme Tees. The link's in the bottom. They sell the best shirts. I'm telling y'all. Check them out. If there's a promo code that needs to be entered, put my name in, Kevin. All right? And we will see you next time in Kevin's Corner. God bless.